take a few questions here. We asked them to come up here after a great 5-round fight. We'll start with Kevin Iole.
Hey Nick, first of all, you know, any serious injury other than the stitches? Did you have any broken bones or anything?
No, but before I had a little injury before the fight, my left arm. I had to get a cortisone shot, and I stopped throwing punches like about 2 weeks before the fight. I've never done that. I didn't really throw punches in the warm-up the last couple of days. I didn't cut weight with throwing punches, so I wasn't in gear to throw punches, and I knew I was in big trouble. That's why you see me go for the takedown, because I know I can be more effective by going top one time. And I figured, you know, maybe he's not expecting me to go on top real quick, so I might just land that, and I can do something significant. But I think all the power shots that were thrown, you know, like punching-wise, I could see everything coming that he hit me with. Popped me real quick with the jab. Of course, I think he's right-handed, so he's got a little bit of power on that jab. He throws it right, and opened up a little cut here under my eye. And then I barely got grazed with that little whip kick, the one that I think he was throwing that in the fight with Weidman. But I barely got grazed with that one. I think that's what did me up top a little bit. Other than that, you know, I was moving forward best I could without having my rhythm together like I have in previous fights. Just had a little issues with my trainer as far as that goes, though. But with my punching and my arm, it was actually locking up on me, and I couldn't punch with it. When I came out to fight, you know, it wasn't an issue, but I was worried that it was going to be, because every time I throw a punch in the last couple of days, it would lock up and it would stick. So here's my arm straight, like that, and then here's how it would stick, like this. And I was like, what the hell's going on? So I went and saw Anderson's doctor that fixed his leg. Someone said, I think Reed set me up with Anderson's doctor. And I went in there and saw him, and they took an x-ray, said, yeah, I think maybe you have some bone spur, like some bone fragments in there or something. And I'm like, it feels like I got some tendons caught up and I can't straighten it. And I feel like if I try to punch through that, it's gonna tear something and swell up. So I didn't want to punch, or whatever it was gonna be. I could tell that last time I tried to punch through it, I was like, ooh, you know, and so I knew it was gonna probably swell up, so I had to wait. I couldn't really throw my punches until the fight, because I figured if it was gonna tear something or pull something, I had to just get through it in the fight. I don't want to do it before the fight, have it swell up on me and go out there with nothing. So.
Nick, 2 questions then. Will you need surgery on it? Did Dr. Saunders tell you that? And then secondly, once you get recovered, do you still want to fight? Do you want to come back? And what kind of plan would you have about who you would want to fight, given what's happened in the last couple of fights?
You know, I don't know much about surgeries and arm surgeries. That's all I really heard out of your question there, about the arm stuff. But yeah, but yeah, you know, he said, yeah, that, you know, we could go in there and do surgery and take something out of there, something like that. But I haven't really looked into too much of doing. I mean, I'm not really, you know, into having surgeries. So I don't know. We'll have to see about that. If I'm not punching anybody, then I don't need surgery.
Nick, obviously, you were very respectful of Anderson Silva all week long and praising him as a fighter. It seemed like he was very hesitant to engage you tonight, though. Were you disappointed at all in what seemed like kind of a lack of a willingness to want to come forward and put on the fight it seemed like you wanted to put on?
Yeah, I kind of lose my shit in there when people do that, so I think he probably knows that. Yeah, but you know, I could see his punches coming a mile away. The more he punched, the more he was gonna end up with the shit end of the stick. So he wasn't gonna punch or anything. Not that he, you know, he worries about punching in all his fights. What I watched, you know. But I really think I come in with a straight right to the body, and I was really gonna put it together off of that. He grabbed my head and I started pumping elbows in. I haven't watched the fight, but I remember every time I did throw a straight right to the body. I mean a straight left to the body. I was switching around a little bit. Either way, as soon as I threw that straight to the body, he was going to grab my head, and I broke out of there and started hitting him with elbows and punches. So, you know, that would have worked out for me, but I was hesitant to do that on my way out to the fight. Usually my trainer's like, you know, he's screaming at me. Sometimes I'm like, why are you, like, shut up. it's a bad idea. But then I realized, maybe it was probably a good idea, because I would have been, having to throw something for him, and I would have trained that. I would have trained those combinations in this last couple of weeks here. I think I could have been more successful with that straight right to the body, coming back with the left hook, or when I was switching it up. So either way, straight right, come back with the hook, because he's going to try to grab my head, and I was going to win, get the better of that situation every time, in my opinion. And there's a couple things I regret, like whipping kicks out there, and fooling around the first round, because I'm sure the judges don't like that. I don't know how people feel about it either. I don't even know how I feel about it when I watch the fight. I don't know if people are like, yeah, I had you on these rounds. I don't know what the judges are thinking, or I know how I feel at the end of the fight. I'm like, well, I don't know what the judges are thinking, but I'm like, I've definitely pushed forward the whole time, so I don't know. I don't know how they judge fights sometimes, because nowadays they're adding scoring. Sometimes they go like, oh, damage, and sometimes they go, oh, this guy did more work. It's like a whole new ball game right now in this last couple of years. But I've been in here for at least 12 years or so, where it's a whole different story. That's why I was even spouting off. For some reason, I always spout off Sean's shirt, because, I think I got the takedown in that fight, got more punches, and moved around, but he worked harder, threw a lot. And I'm like, oh, well, the judges like that, because he, kind of like right in front of your face. Like, that's all I did. Like, right, nothing hit me. I was like, hey. And, I think I could have won that fight. I think I did win that fight, but same with a lot of fights. But I get real confused on how to win a fight out here initially. And then nowadays, you can see when you watch, they're counting strikes, doing all that stuff. So I don't know what was what until I see it. I don't know how many punches were thrown, landed, or what, but I just know that, I can see this guy's punches in. I don't think he could have finished me. I think if anybody was going to finish anybody, it was going to be me finishing him. But the thing is like, I just, the only way he's going to do a finish on me is if I come in doing something stupid. So, on account of that, I think I stayed back a little bit more than I should have. And, on account of not having my trainer help me put my punches together, I think I know he's sitting at home going, MC, this was out in there. And it's like, yeah, I know. I pretty much, saw myself sitting here, with that mindset. Like, what's my trainer thinking right now? Because he's, like, see what happens. You didn't bring me along, But I love my trainer, and it's just things have been rough. When you get older, real money starts coming out of this. It's like it's hard to work these things out and organize these things. But I was lucky to have an excellent team behind me, my agent Lloyd Pearson, and Cesar Gracie. He always comes through for me no matter what, and Lloyd and James and the whole Ballinger group thing. They really came through. My friend Frank Hurley, I was running around out here one day, met him, and put me through with the right people. And that I met on my own. I couldn't really, people were trying to pitch different management teams towards me. I'm like, I just pretty much need to do this on my own. But I was more than happy with the deal we got and how it worked out and the things that I learned. And I'm really appreciative of all the people that did stand, all the the new people that were standing by me and what I had to work with. I really appreciate it.
Nick, I know that it's still fresh right now, and you've got some thinking to do, but you've got kind of a love-hate relationship with this sport. As you sit there right now, do you feel like this is something that you want to do again, or with all the difficulties you had and all the struggles to get here, do you feel like maybe it's not for you?
Yeah, no, it's really crazy, coming out here and I'm kind of tired of being a loser, I've been still here, but I'm losing all these fights. It's just, I'm doing well though, versus, as far as this being a job, but versus the other guys that are out here. So I'm happy to, I guess it's, put on a show for these fans. So I don't know what to make of it right now. But I don't know what people think either. I don't know how you guys saw the fight. I don't know if you guys are sitting there like, yeah, you think thinks he won. How stupid. You know what I mean? Like, how does he think he won? I'm like, well, it's one thing, like, you sit there and you try to get a guy on the scorecards, you try to get the knockout, you win like that, you win with the knockout. And I just never try to beat somebody on the scorecards. It's just never happened. It's not in me, I don't think. And I'm real quick to just criticize somebody for even going there. I'm like, are you doing this really? Are you really gonna not try and finish this fight and do this fight? You're gonna do another fight where it's moving around? I have a lot of respect. You see me out here and try to intimidate this dude leading up to the fight or anything like that. Maybe that could have won me the fight. He stayed the hell away from me the first round. When I came out, flipped the switch on him and started shooting, I'm not coming out to touch gloves with anybody. I'll be going to shake hands before the fight. Shit, I mean, as long as everybody's straight up, then everybody's straight up, nobody's stepping out of line. We shake hands before the fight too. Of course, somebody steps out of line and we ain't shaking hands until after the fight. So, bumping fists or nothing. Why am I do that? Is it gonna make the fans happy? No. Is it gonna make Dan White happy? No. It ain't gonna make me happy either if I lose the fight. So it's just a different mentality about fighting sometimes, I think.
We'll take one more from Ariel.
Nick, the last time we were in this setting at a post-fight press conference, it was in Montreal after the GSP fight, and you talked about some of the issues that you were having outside of fighting, and, trying to get your life in order. If this is the last time you fight again, do you feel a lot more comfortable? Do you feel like things are more settled around you?
Yeah, well, I've left options open for myself best I could, on account of doing this. So I've invested a lot more than a lot of people that I know it's hard to understand for a lot of people that I've done something like that. I'd like to say hard work pays off on one end. On the other end, I look like shit out here fighting. And when they put those clips together, they're not going to show none of my punches. They're not going to show any. They're going to, find whatever they can find that happened out there on the other end of it, and they're going to throw that up. And it's not good to see. It doesn't feel good to see that. It doesn't feel good to try to argue with somebody that thinks has their opinion. I'm just having to avoid too many arguments. I'm like, so I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could just fall off. People stop talking about me, but I feel like that's just not happening. I don't know if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just that's how it seems from my end, but I can't tell you.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks, everybody.